Dream with me tonight. Hi there. How are you?
I'm fine.
I didn't mean you, Grubby. I know you're fine.
Why, thank you. Say, Teddy, are you gonna tell a story now?
Yes, I am.
Is it gonna be an exciting adventure?
One of the most exciting we've ever had.
About strange creatures from far-off lands?
How did you know?
Just a lucky guess.
Well, here we go. This is a story about the snow creature.
I remember that one. It sure was an exciting adventure.
It all happened during the coldest and snowiest winter anyone could remember in the land of Grundo.
Wooly had invited Teddy, Newton Gimmick, Fuzz the Fob, and me to his house for a winter's dinner.
So we all flew to Wooly's house in the airship and landed in a small clearing nearby.
There's Wooly's house up ahead, Teddy.
Boy, I sure hope it's warmer inside Wooly's house than it is out here.
What was that?
Just the wind, Teddy.
Hurry up and get inside.
We tied down the airship, took off our snow boots on the porch, and hurried inside Wooly's warm house. Then we sat down in front of the fire and had some nice hot grundleberry juice.
Hey, where's Grubby?
I think he's still taking off his boots.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yikes! I think I just heard that strange sound again.
Me too.
It's amazing the things people will imagine during winter storms. Why, it reminds me of one winter when I was a boy.
Gee, that sure must have been a long time ago.
Grubby.
Well, yes, it was many years ago. That was the winter we were visited by giant Snowzos.
None of us had ever heard of giant Snowzos before. Poor Fuzz was really scared.
Giant Snowzos? Well, what did they look like?
They didn't look like anything. That is to say, they looked like nothing. I mean, they were just made up.
Gimmick explained that sometimes people imagined that they heard or saw things in the snow. Then they would tell other people, and soon everyone would start to believe the stories.
Some people saw big piles of snow and imagined that they were giant snow creatures. Some even claimed to have met them and that they called themselves Snowzos. How ridiculous! The existence of Snowzos is scientifically impossible.
Uh-oh, now I'm really worried. Fuzz was worried, too.
Don't worry, Fuzz. The only thing around here that's big and furry is Wooly. Wooly served us a delicious dinner, and we all forgot about the snow creatures for a while.
But the delicious dinner wasn't the most exciting part of the story.
No, it wasn't. Suddenly, there was a knock on Wooly's door.
Who's there?
It's us. Hey, let it in. It's cold out here. Hurry up, Wooly. Yeah.
It was the Fobs.
Hiya! What are you guys doing here?
We heard a giant Snowzo in the forest. We wanted to make sure Fuzz was okay. We're scared and cold and afraid of Snowzos. Yikes! Snowzos!
Gimmick told the Fobs that there was no reason to worry.
It's amazing how that old Snowzo story pops up every time there's a bad snowstorm.
Soon, there was another knock on the door.
Come on, Wooly, open up!
Hey, Wooly, hurry up!
Gramps and Wiggs Wockily were at the door, and they were frightened too.
It was big, it was furry, and we ran away in a fast.
Gramps is so scared he can't rhyme, which Wogglies do all the time.
Nonsense! It was probably just a pile of snow. Besides, if there really was a Snowzo, Wooly would protect us, wouldn't you, Wooly? Wooly? Where'd you go?
But Wooly was hiding under the table.
Hey, Wooly, come on out of there. On second thought, move over. I'm getting under there, too.
Yeah, make room for me.
Everybody able?
Maybe you could make room for me, too?
I think you're all acting very foolishly.
Suddenly, the door opened, and in flew Leota the wood sprite.
Teddy, all of the school children are worried and upset. We've got to do something about the giant Snowzo.
Now everyone but Gimmick was hiding under the table.
It sure is crowded under here.
I was here first!
Excuse me, Grubby. Your knee is in my eye.
Which knee?
The third from the left.
And I still say there is no such thing as a Snowzo. Don't believe everything you hear. When you have a scientific mind, such as mine, you believe nothing that you hear and half of what you see. All things must be proven before reaching a conclusion. And your conclusions must be reached scientifically. So don't believe everything you hear. Many things you hear are just not so.
If you heard someone calling, look out, the sky is falling, what would you say?
Look out below?
No, don't believe everything you hear, or you might start seeing creatures in the snow.
Oh, no! Until you learn more about it, you should always doubt it, and don't believe anything until you really know.
We saw a creature.
Don't believe it.
By a tree.
No way.
It sounded strange.
Just the wind.
Oh, gee.
We heard a funny noise that sounded kind of weird.
I saw a snowman with a beard.
Impossible. So don't believe everything you hear
They think they even saw some Snowzo tracks.
until you learn more about it. You should always doubt it.
And don't believe anything until you know the facts. Maybe Gimmick's right.
I don't think so.
Still, you've got to admit, it's rather strange that nearly everybody here has heard or seen it.
I'm sure it's just a story or a fable.
But we're still not coming out from under the table. So don't believe
Don't believe.
everything you hear
Even when the thing you hear goes
until you learn more about it.
You should always doubt it.
And don't believe anything until you're really sure.
Gimmick, you also said there was no such thing as a wood sprite.
Did I say that?
Yep. I remember. You did, Gimmick.
Well, why don't we just stay together, go and sit in front of the fire, and have some more hot grundleberry juice? It will make us feel much better.
Okay. So, we all sat down in front of Wooly's fireplace. It looks like we're out of firewood, Wooly.
I think Gimmick should go outside and get some more.
Yeah, let Gimmick go. Gimmick's not afraid.
I'll go get the firewood.
I'll help you, Teddy!
I still think Gimmick should go.
That's okay, Gimmick.
I'll go with you if you wait for me to put on my boots.
Never mind, Grubby.
Okay.
So, Wooly and I went out to Wooly's woodpile, alone. It was so windy that we could barely see each other through the blowing snow.
Hand me some logs, Teddy!
Okay, Wooly. 1 log, 2 logs, 3 logs.
I said, hand me some logs, Teddy!
I just did. 4 logs, 5 logs.
Are you gonna hand me some logs or not?
Boy, that Wooly sure can hold a lot of logs. Okay, Wooly, let's go back inside. So, we headed back into the house. But when everyone saw Wooly, they all started laughing.
Wooly, you're all covered with snow.
You're completely white from head to toe.
We all tried to brush the white snow off.
Boy, this snow is sure tough. It won't come off, no matter how hard we brush.
But a moment later, the door opened again, and in came Wooly.
Hey, Teddy! How could you leave me out there? I could have met a giant Snowzo or something.
There were 2 Woolies standing side by side.
We looked from one Wooly to the other until we realized that the big white Wooly wasn't Wooly at all.
It's
A
giant
Snowzo!
There must be a logical explanation. Who are you?
There's no need to fear me. Feel free to gather near me, and you may hear me out as I sing a little ditty that will tell you what I'm all about.
continue do.
We beg of you. Yikes!
I'm a really rather average and merely sort of ordinary typical giant Snowzo.
Gee,
He's a really rather average and merely sort of ordinary typical giant Snowzo.
That is all that I can claim to be. There is nothing too unique about me. No, I'm not so very different as you can plainly see.
we can plainly see that he's a
Really rather average, merely sort of ordinary, typical giant Snowzo. Yes, he's a really rather average, merely sort of ordinary, typical giant Snowzo. North of the land of Ying is where we Snowzos are from.
Oh, really?
And this far south we very rarely come.
They rarely come this far.
Only when the winter weather's blowing stormily do Snowzos venture so far southward for a change of scenery.
for a change of scenery.
So by now I hope you see
But he's a really rather average and merely sort of ordinary typical giant Snowzo.
Yes, I'm a really rather average and merely sort of ordinary, typical giant Snowzo. I assure you I'm the same in every way. Just like every other Snowzo day to day. For in the north we're all like this, and that is why I say
That is why we say that he's a
really rather average and merely sort of ordinary, typical giant Snowzo. Yes, I'm a really rather average and merely sort of ordinary, typical giant Snowzo. We're really very friendly.
Hey, you sound like Wooly. And you look a lot like him, too.
Yeah, except that Willie's purple.
We have a legend about a young Snowzo who long ago disappeared from our mountain and was never seen again. You might be that young Snowzo, Wooly. Me? A Snowzo? Hey!
It was true that Wooly didn't really know where he came from.
The waters of Rainbow Falls could account for your purple coloring.
Mr. Snowzo, a little while ago, you said we are very friendly. Does that mean there are more Snowzos nearby?
Why, yes. My family is right outside.
The Snowzo opened the door and called out until his voice echoed throughout the forest. Soon Woolie's yard filled with Snowzos of every shape and size.
And when they saw Wooly, they were really amazed.
Look, everybody! A purple Snowzo!
Woolie invited the Snowzos in, but they said they would rather stay outside where it was nice and cold.
So we all bundled up and went out for a visit with the Snowzos.
And they were really nice.
Yep, they sure were.
And Woolie had an especially good time talking to them about Snowzo history and customs.
They even invited Wooly to come visit them up north.
But he decided to wait until the weather was a little bit warmer, since his fur wasn't as thick and warm as theirs.
So we all said goodbye to the Snowzos.
So
long.
Bye-bye!
Goodbye, everybody!
Well, that was an exciting adventure, Grubby. We made some new friends from a far-off land during that cold, snowy winter.
Yep, and I learned something too.
I know, Grubby. Don't believe everything you hear.
Nope, I learned the reason Snowzos say brrr.
Uh-oh, I'm afraid to ask. Okay, Grubby, why do Snowzos say brrr?
Because they're always cold. Get it?